Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Friday's World session. For all of you that I haven't seen in so long, it's so nice to see your face. For those who join me weekly, it's so nice to see your face, and thank you for being here with me. I want to start off today's work with gratitude. So, gratitude to all of you for your support in whatever way that comes through. So, huge gratitude to all of you, and I love you all. So, today's work, I feel really quiet. I think this is solstice's energy coming in. So, in the northern hemisphere, we're shifting into winter. The southern hemisphere shifting into summer, but it's still slow. Right? Winter and summer are still slow energy, even though the summers is a little bit different than winter. Winter is maximum contraction. It's the maximum contraction. Everything freezes, everything gets cold. Animals slow down. Most of them hibernate. You don't really see animals scurrying around everywhere. So we're not separate from nature. We are nature. And it's important to take this time to go inward, to introspect, to slow down, even while you're doing tasks and say, yeah, Monica, but I've got 1,000 things that need to get done and I've got such a busy plate. Sure, but being in the moment, being in the present so that the mind can take a break. So you're just take a break. That slowness, that quietness is needed. Seeds need time to germinate. So whatever you planted in the fall needs time to germinate, needs time for rest. It goes quiet to conserve its energy for to come forth, to come to light, or to give new life come spring. The same goes for you. So I'm anchoring this whole session into the gut. I really feel like I'm in this gut area, the pelvic basin, the uterus. So even for men, you don't have a uterus, but you do have it energetically, that energetic cocooning really down in the bottom part of this lower extremities of the body, even maybe the top thighs, hips. We're going into glutes. Piriformis is coming in, and also the psoas and the whole hip structure, the whole iliacus, all that iliac crest, the sacrum, the coccyx. And it feels like there's this pushy energy coming in from the mind, or coming in from your thoughts, or coming in from thinking that you should be doing something other than what is happening now. So, anchoring, we're going right down in there and just take a moment to feel it. To feel that you feel your gut and your hips, the sits bones, muscles down there, and anchor into stillness. Anchoring into the quiet, right? Be in the eye of the storm, right? When there's a tornado happening and everything's flying around you and it seems so busy, right at the center, there's nothing is touched, the eye of the storm, that stillness, even if life around you is really busy or seems hectic, you can stay centered within yourself. So we're anchoring the mind to the gut for that discernment to come in. And what's coming in here is an introspection to, for the new year or for the solstice that's coming in, what is it that needs to be nurtured within your life? What is it that needs to be nurtured within you? Are you committed to your health? Are you committed to, are you committed to your health? So let's say, for example, um, you've got hip problems or a back problem, or you'd like to lose some weight is a common thing, or you'd like to become more fit or increase your endurance or your cardiovascular. So these are all things that would benefit you, for example. These are all things that would be in service to you, to take care of your body, to eat the foods that support you, to watch, I don't know, the shows that expand your mind or um, would move you away from cognitive dissonance, watching a different point of view. But are you committed to doing those things? And what is your level of commitment? And where do your old thought patterns go into, yeah, but? These are the things that would come in right now to take a look at what have I not been doing to nurture myself? So there's a sacrifice that's in order, right? And what are you willing to sacrifice? Okay, I cannot exercise. I can make that choice for myself, but I am sacrificing my flexibility for the short-term relief of perhaps the difficulty that comes in with doing certain yoga poses. So, what are you sacrificing? And what is your level of what are you committed to your health, to your wealth, to abundance? Are you open to opportunities? Can you see those opportunities? Or are your eyes diverted and go through, that habitual path of looking at what is not? Okay, that's so Rumi has this beautiful quote. It says, "Do not seek for love, but only those things that block you from experiencing." So you need to keep searching for those blocks within yourself that are your constraints, your places of avoidance or resignation. And this is a perfect time to be honest with yourself during the solstice, to come to center, to come to midline, to take this time to nurture, to replenish, and to support. And take those little steps, even though we're in winter. So it doesn't need to be anything big. It could be just one walk around the block, or it could be starting to look at courses or um, looking for information. That already shifts the dynamics and the relationship that you have to those things in your life that you would like to nurture. So we're in this anchoring, this quiet time, even though life around you may be busy. That's okay. Maybe the shift is that needs to take place is I'm not resting. And when I am resting, my mind's still busy. So the sacrifice would be to those thought patterns. There we go. There's a nice release. Now we're going into blood, and we're going to do nope, not a circulation. So there's too much sadness in the blood. So the consciousness of blood is joy. There's an overabundance of sadness. So there's two tones, right? There's a few layers to the sadness being held within the blood. And we're down into the red blood cells, to those red blood cells. There's some sadness being held here. And it's coming up as self-denial. It's coming up, no, not as self-denial, sorry, as denying myself joy, denying myself joy. So we need to start flushing that out of the blood so that even, let's say, when there's a difficult situation in life, that we can go into life or move through life with the curiosity of a child. So childlike, not childish, childlike curiosity, childlike playfulness, childlike enthusiasm, childlike adventure. It's like I like to think of my book my life as a choose my own adventure book. We used to have these in the 80s. So any of my Gen Xers out there, I'm sure you know these books. You would have choose your own adventure and you'd flip to the page and then they give you two choices. If you want, let's say, Sally to go onto the mountain, go to turn page 43. If you like Sally to eat the cookie, turn to page 25. And then it's so cool because then there's a whole bunch of different stories in one book. And this is it, right? For your life to bring that adventure and curiosity to what's happening in your life or choices. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm making the right choice. I'm going to let intuition, that healthy gut, lead the way. And it's all an adventure. All right. So we're dumping sadness using biogenics out of the blood. It's just too much. It's too much sadness in there. And it's all linked to depriving myself. So there's some thoughts that come in here. I'm not good enough. I didn't do anything to deserve it. Maybe I'm doing something bad. Maybe I'm a bad person. Oh, oh, look at my karma's coming in. Like, oh, look at all the awful things I've done. I must have been a terrible person. I must be a terrible person for all these things to be happening to me. And it seems that I know for myself, sometimes I forget life is just messy. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes things just happen. So we're dumping that shaming yourself, guilt, and that deprivation, depriving yourself. So diaphragm, small intestines, we're shifting that, bringing back the natural consciousness of the blood. This is nourishment, which is what this whole session has been about. Taking an honest look at what needs to be nourished within your life. And then are you committed to give yourself the nourishment that you need? And what are you sacrificing? What are those sacrifices? Maybe it's sacrificing stubbornness or sacrificing apathy or sacrificing mean thoughts about yourself. So there's also a relationship to sacrifice. When you make a choice, you're sacrificing something else, right? You go into the restaurant and you're going to choose chicken, and then you've sacrificed eating 75 different items on the menu. Oh, that's moving something within the gut, and I've got a pain in my head. So the head needs to stay out of this. The mind is always going to run around and tell stories about what to do, what not to do, and how to keep yourself safe, how to keep yourself contained. Oh, thanks, mind. I'm doing something else right now. I've got it from here. And anchoring back into stillness within the gut, letting your intuition rule. Well, I don't like rule, but definitely be your flashlight. Let those gut reactions guide you. All right. You doing anything else? Just taking a quick little scan. All right, we're going to run a hydration to the diaphragm. It just feels a little sticky, especially around the back. And we need the diaphragm to move so nicely so that life, that breath of life can come in through our body. But the diaphragm feels a little tight. So I'm going to run hydration, and I'm kind of going and expanding the diaphragm to give it some space. So when the diaphragm breathes, it goes out. And then it also does it like this. It goes out this way, and then it extends open this way as well. So it's a big balloon and massages the organs, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, and the pancreas, making sure that a full breath that diaphragmatic breath can come in so that we're not feeding these thoughts. So when you're breathing shallow, the breath can come down and do what it needs to do, scan the body, both physical and subtle, and move and shift things around. It stays in the same mold of the mind. So we're opening up that diaphragm so a beautiful diaphragmatic breath can come in. We're going to link diaphragm to the pelvis. That pelvic diaphragm. So with each breath, both of the diaphragms are having this relation to each other and breathing in fully. All right, I'm going to tap this in. Happy holidays. Thank you all for being here. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Festivus for the rest of us, whatever holiday that you celebrate. I wish you a joyful time, and see you all next week just before the new year. Thank you for being here.